See if we can get us up there on YouTube. There we go. There we go. Looks like it's trying to come in. We may be broadcasting there in a minute. There. All right, everybody. So I've been talking here for about the last 10 minutes, and nobody's heard a word that I've said or what's going out. As I was stating, that we have some issues that we're working with, some of them technical, some of them seem to be some other administrative problems that we're working with. But that's the way this year is starting off. So if we start off with these troubles, we're going to end the year probably with a big string of successes and breakthroughs, because a lot of times things don't start getting bad or the devil doesn't start messing with you as long as it doesn't look like you're doing anything. But as soon as you start doing something, especially on the good side, then is when you start running into trouble. So that's one of the things going on. I want to try and get you some of the news for today. That was one thing I didn't even get for myself. So I want to get some of the news from the Urban News Network. That's who I'm looking for. Let's see. Don't see that there. Today is the 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. So I'm doing some research, and I've been working out, trying to get ready for this Missouri River 340 race. That's been taking up some of my attention, and I'm hoping to get back, so I'm focusing on what we're doing. But been getting involved with looking at kayaks, looking at which ones I may want to purchase, or if I'm going to use the same one that I used last year, give it another shot at victory, because we've got unfinished business. So we're trying to get all of that taken care of. Let me see if I can get some news up here for you today. And I think we can. If I browse and go into my downloads. Okay, so before we get started right now, we're going to check out some of the news from the Urban News Network. So you're listening to KUAW Radio. Don't pay any attention to that guy behind the screen there, but we're trying to get this together and have it working right for you. So here we go. Let's check out the Urban News Network with their news for today.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go.
This is UNN Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com. Here's a couple of things happening in the news. In 2023, a 10-year-old black girl woke up in a field in Pontiac, Michigan to find her mother and two younger brothers had frozen to death. Now a federal lawsuit accuses the county and 3 county deputies of neglecting their duties to prevent it. Over 35 people have died across the country after violent tornadoes, winds, and blinding dust storms destroyed homes and other structures on Sunday. A Virginia high school athlete captured on video hitting a fellow competitor with a baton during a track and field relay race has been charged with a misdemeanor. Well, it's about a month and a half, give or take a couple of days, and Diddy will go on trial. He's charged by federal prosecutors with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. But those are the first federal charges. The feds now have brought something new: forced labor. Yep. Diddy now faces new federal charges that he forced employees to work long, grueling hours on little sleep using physical, financial, or reputational harm. He's also accused of using physical force or threats to make at least one employee engage in a sex act. But again, that's just the federal stuff that Trump could pardon him on, but he still faces dozens of civil lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct in various forms. You've been listening to UNN Urban Network News, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com, featuring 100% wild-crafted sea moss. That's ahintofmoss.com.
That's some of the news for you today. Few things going on out there. We'll play that again later. That seems bad. Seems like P. Diddy can't stay out of the news. He's on the news probably as much as Donald Trump is right now. But yeah, we're going to get to you some information. We've got this is in Kansas City. Now, those of you listening around the world maybe not picking this up, but this is start of the spring break season for our public schools. And we have an event coming up, and let me see if I can pull that up so I can tell you about it with a little bit of clarity. There it is. There it is. Okay. Now, this is going to be free event for young people, teens. There's limited space, but the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center is having a teen spring break pop-up. Yes, you're going to learn about African American history, creative writings about drones, robotics, and more. So bring your squad and kick it with us. Food, music, activities, inspiring guests. That's going to be going on at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. That's at the former Milton Moore Elementary School. We're really on the corner. You can park on the 31st Street side. The parking lot's on the 31st Street side. So 31st and Elmwood, between Cypress and Elmwood, the Milton Moore Elementary School building is now the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. And we're going to be in there. Starting tomorrow, it's going to go from March the 18th through the 20th every day from 11 to 3 o'clock. Now, there's a QR code to register, and I can't show that to you on the screen right now because I have this in a PDF, and I can't put the PDF up there. If I could save it in, let's see if I can save it as something else. I don't know if I can save it as now, it don't look like I can save it as a JPEG or anything that I would be able, if I had the right programs on here, I could. But that's neither here nor there right now. What you can't do, you can't do. But register today. This is being brought to you by the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and Urban Tech Block, and the VIP movement, Violence I Prevent. All of that's going to be going on, and we're putting it on here. The BFTAA, which is my organization, will be doing robotics that we will be involved in, and looks like we're all going to be working with you tomorrow. So tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll work with the young people and try and make it fun and give you some information so when school starts back, you'll be ready to go. But there's going to be free food. This doesn't cost a dime to anybody. Well, to any of the young people. It did cost more than a dime. But if you're in Kansas City area, you can bring your child down to the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center from 11 until 3 that we're going to be having a super teen pop-up going on. So we'd like to see young people in the place and get a chance to rock and roll with you. If you want some more information on how to register, please go to www.duboislc, that's duboislc.org. You can go to that and sign up. It's free. We just want to know how many young people are going to be here. So there's going to be food, music, activities, things going on. Bring your friends, bring your buddies, bring your squad, your posse, whatever you call it, and let's come and have a great day with technology, with creative writing, with drones, with robotics, and all of that right here at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. So hope to have your face in the place, and we'll be doing the do. Let's see what else we have going on here in the city. I'll try and give you some of the things that are happening around town, or if we don't get to that, one of the things we want to talk about is getting involved in AI, learning a little bit more about it. I was on a panel last week, and I want to thank the Cornell Ellis, I believe, and the brothers down at Block, BLOC. We had a nice time down at, what was it called, Black KC. It's a place in the old Wonder Bread building down in the basement. They've got a social club, and it was really nice. But we did a technology talk. I was on a panel, and basically to talk about where we're going with technology. Can we do to get youth involved, especially black males involved in technology, but to get the youth involved in technology and what it can do for them career-wise, educationally, and just improving the standard of living. So that was a good time, and I do want to thank the brothers down at Block that invited me to be part of the panel, because little old me, to be part of anybody's panel and stuff, I take it as an honor, because, I'm just another guy out here working the old phone man, as they say. So I'm a analog guy that's got caught up in this digital world right now, and I'm having to do the best I can with it. But it was a great time. We had a real good talk, and I'm going to be talking with some young people tomorrow. So that's what we try and do, is try to help our young people get involved in technology and how they can use it. I mean, from podcasting to esports to AI, robotics, cybersecurity. There are so many career paths that you can choose that use technology, and some that you wouldn't even think of, like farming and those type of things, that people are using technology in almost every workplace or every type of work activity. Technology has been coming in, and it's doing a lot, and there's going to be more of it, not less. So if you want to stay up on what's going on in the world, you need to be reading magazines on it, working with your kids, talking about it, have the conversation about not just computers, but robots. Robotics is becoming really growing industry. I mean, they're doing so much, and the robots are getting better and better. So that's something that we have to look at, and it's going to be around. It's not going anywhere. You're going to have more robots, not less robots. They're going to be doing more things, but are we going to be the ones that help design, create, own, and work with them, or are we going to just be on the sidelines watching as the robots go by? Because this technology thing is what we need to be on. We've been doing robots for kids since 2008. We enter them in robotics competitions. We've just started another drone class. This is our second year of drone training that we're doing for young people. So we're trying to get young people involved. We're trying to get boys and girls and families involved in technology. It was a revolution 20 years ago, but it is day-to-day living now. It is here. When we first started, it was like something new and strange to just think about coding or having a computer of your own at home. That was the fantastic thing. Now you got a computer you carry around in your pocket every day. Now you have high-speed internet everywhere. It's a whole different world, and it keeps getting faster and faster and better and better. Yeah, there's some bad things that come with it. We can't deny that. People get identity theft, swindles, hacks, all kind of things, misinformation being sent over the web. All of that happens, but then there's also many, many good things that are happening from technology. So we don't want to say that technology is bad. No, we say that bad people use technology as well as good people use technology. So the thing we have to do is try and be prepared and be on guard for the bad actors, because you're not going to get rid of that. There's always been, or ever since the days of Adam and Eve, there's been evil. Evil was let into the world. So it's going to be here until the second coming. So we're going to have to deal with it as best we can. We want to stay prayed up, but we also want to use the mind that God has given us in order to do the things that we're going to need to do to be successful and to prosper in this world. So if you got a young person, bring them down to WEB, the Boys Learning Center. It starts at 11 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm going to be doing a little hands-on workshop with the young people at 1:15, I think they've got me scheduled for. So I'll be doing a little hands-on with robotics with them, and we would love to see you in here. and they may get some ideas of wanting to be a part of a robotics team or a drone team or come in for technology classes that are happening. We got groups that are doing it. Also, they're going to be working with learning creative writing. Maybe your child isn't doing a lot of technology thing, but they're that creative. They're arts. They want to know how to frame a story, how to tell things from their point of view. There's going to be people down here that help with creative writing. There are going to be teachers down here, not here as teachers though, but just here to pass on some of the knowledge that they have. So the groups that are coming are all about helping out in the community. They're not doing it to get paid. They're doing it because they have a heart for the community. And that's what we want to have. We need to have more groups and more people. Nothing's wrong with getting paid. You want to get paid, we got to eat. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants to, live as comfortable as possible. It doesn't have to be a palatial estate, but you'd like to have a place you call home and the heat's on and the water's running. So I have no problem with people that want to make a living, because I've made a living through my life and hope to continue to make a living. But everything isn't done just for the dollar. So some people have a heart for the community. So after they get through making their dollar, and some of them even while they're making their dollar, are able to help out in the community. And that's what's important. Yeah, we need to be able to work and give back, not just say that we're working just for the almighty dollar. Nothing's wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. We need to have that because that gives you the independence to be able to do more and to be a better, not a better, what do I say, a more prolific giver in the community. So we want to be able to do that, and it takes dollars to do things. I mean, gas and heat, nobody's just giving that away. Water, electricity, all of that. So, and even maintenance and things that you have to do to keep your house, keep buildings, to keep your car, all of those running. So we need to be able to make a living, but also we have time that we can give back to the community, that we don't forget from where we came. Somebody poured into you. I know as I was coming up, there were volunteers that poured into me, from the Boy Scouts to the church group to the Optimus to different clubs and stuff, that I wasn't paying. It didn't cost me anything to get some guidance, to get some awareness, to be taken to see things that are within my grasp, if only I know that they exist. So there's a place for volunteerism, just as there's a place for entrepreneurism. And you don't want to get them twisted, and one is not better than the other. They both are needed for a community, for a village, for us to grow and to survive and to thrive. So that's what we want to do. Now I'm going to replay that news again because there was a couple of pieces in there that sounded pretty interesting, and I want to go back through it so we can talk about what's going on in our world. So let me see if I got that keyed up so I can do it again. Yes, let's try that one more time. Turn that. We're going to come back to the news and get it where I can hear it. Yeah. Here we go. Urban Network News.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go.
This is UNN Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com. Here's a couple of things happening in the news. In 2023, a 10-year-old black girl woke up in a field in Pontiac, Michigan to find her mother and two younger brothers had frozen to death. Now a federal lawsuit accuses the county and 3 county deputies of neglecting their duties to prevent it. Over 35 people have died across the country after violent tornadoes, winds, and blinding dust storms destroyed homes and other structures on Sunday. A Virginia high school athlete captured on video hitting a fellow competitor with a baton during a track and field relay race has been charged with a misdemeanor. Well, it's about a month and a half, give or take a couple of days, and Diddy will go on trial. He's charged by federal prosecutors with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. But those are the first federal charges. The feds now have brought something new: forced labor. Yep. Diddy now faces new federal charges that he forced employees to work long, grueling hours on little sleep using physical, financial, or reputational harm. He's also accused of using physical force or threats to make at least one employee engage in a sex act. But again, that's just the federal stuff that Trump could pardon him on, but he still faces dozens of civil lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct in various forms. You've been listening to UNN Urban Network News, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com, featuring 100% wild-crafted sea moss. That's ahintofmoss.com.
All right, yeah, there was a couple of interesting stories in there. The first story that they started off with is that there is a lawsuit from a young lady whose rest of her family froze to death in Pontiac, Michigan, outdoors, probably homeless or maybe in some distress from a car breakdown. We don't know. But those are the type of things that we definitely don't want to have happen. They're blaming it on the county. So I'd like to see a little more about that story to find out what was going on. But in this, when we had this winter, those bitterly cold days when it's 10 below, that's when, you really have to be prepared to help a lot of people that are outside. There's a lot of people that are without homes, they call them unhoused or they'll call them homeless or however you want to phrase it, but they're basically out in the elements in that below zero weather. And that, if it doesn't kill you, it can still maim you. You can have frostbite. You could, your life can be shortened in ways that you might not die immediately, but it can be a toll on your body and living. So as we go, and that's as we're going, we're looking at making dollars, and everybody wants every dollar. But, do we have something to help those that are in need? And you have to be with that. There's something about, helping people, but there's also something about teaching people and helping people where it's sustainable, where they can get on their feet, where they can really get going and do some things, be productive, because you don't want to just give and give, because then if you run out and they haven't learned anything, then they're in as worse a shape or worse than they were before you started giving. So we want to make sure that we also try to pass on information, pass on knowledge to those that are capable of taking it in. Now, some people that are out there on the streets are not in a position, they're not physically or mentally able to handle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given.
To us, simple, but to somebody else, that may be a really hard thing to do. Just getting up, getting dressed, going to work, working, coming home. But those people we have to have special care for. But some people just need the motivation and need to do, because we're not a race, or there's humankind is not a thing that people can just live without doing anything for anybody forever. It just doesn't seem to work like that, not right now in this lifetime. I've got to know that you need to know your worth. You need to have some reason to get up, to go, to do, not just to wake up and you're just there. Not if nothing's wrong with you, if you're not sick or anything, then you should have some kind of goal, some purpose, something that you want to do, somewhere that you want to go. So those are things that we have to look at. That's what they're working on in government now, and we have to work on a balance between that, though. We can't be where we don't help anybody, but then we also can't be where people don't have the motivation to do for themselves. So we have to find that balance between being able to give somebody a hand up and not just a hand out, to help them get their boots so that they can have some laces to get going, but not just to say we gave and it's all over with. You know, you're good because I gave something. But if we are not helping that person get back on their feet or to get better, what have we done? Are we just giving them a little time, a little respite from the agony, and then we can feel good that we did something, but then, you know, they go back to where they were. So we really have to work on that because there's a lot of homeless people. There are a lot of people that are on the streets and families that are on the street that we've got to get up some answers about it. And we don't want to be all hard and just say, well, if they don't make it, they don't make it. No, we've got to do a balance between carrying somebody and enabling somebody to do more, to be better. That's just one of my soapbox issues I wanted to get out off my chest a little bit. I've been thinking about that today, so I wanted to get that out there. Another thing that I've been thinking about here in Kansas City, they have a problem with the buses right now. The buses, they're going to cut routes. They're talking about laying off drivers. They're having a problem with the bus system. And one of the things they brought up is they may bring back fares, and people don't want to do that. But we have to look at our bus system, our area of transportation is how did it get where it is. One thing that we're doing right now is we're giving free bus service. So that comes out of somebody's pocket. Now before, I don't know how much the city put in on the bus, but before COVID, buses were not free. They might have a free day, but they were not free. As COVID came along, in order to keep people working and keep things going, they made busing free. The government gave money so that the bus drivers, the people at the bus companies, and all the workers there could continue to work. You know, it was part of Biden's plan so that they kept working even if they were just driving people around for free. They were working and getting paid for it. Now, COVID is over with and that money's run out. But the bad thing about giving somebody something free is now nobody wants to pay for it. They were paying for it before COVID, but now that they've had it free, it should be for free. But the government's not giving out those hundreds of millions of dollars now, so where is that money going to come from? We have to think about that. That calls for extra cash to be spent. And that it comes from somebody's taxes. If Uncle Sam doesn't give it, then the state or the city has to give it. And if they have to give it, then it's got to be voted on, debated. People have got to talk about, you know, what else might suffer or how it goes with that. But it makes a problem as we had bus fares and then we didn't have bus fares, and now it's hard to get bus fares back again. So there's a thing of income now. If you take an Uber, they're not free. You got to pay for it. That's the transportation. I even have been to other cities where our city is a little unique with the trolley system, our light rail, that's free. Now, they've got light rail in New Orleans they've had for years, but it ain't free. Well, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and they've got light rail there, but it ain't free. You have to pay for it. They were having a problem getting people to pay, though, and some people were getting on the bus, getting back off of the trolley and not getting the tickets and stuff. That's something they have to work out. But there was some revenue coming in. We were down there at a convention, and I don't know what it was, $3-4 you could ride all day. You got an all-day pass. New Orleans the same way. You could either ride someplace for a couple of bucks, or you could buy an all-day pass and you ride back and forth, go here and there on their light rail system. So sometimes you have to realize that things cost. We've got a light rail system that they've built here that is free, and free to the riders. I shouldn't say that it's free because it's not free. Those drivers are getting paid. Those cars have to be maintained. Yes, the COVID money helped to extend the tracks and stuff, but there's a cost that's going to be ongoing with the electricity that's used and all that. Where's that coming from? Does that have to come from the city? Does that have to come from some taxes? Could some of that be, what do I want to say, lifted if there was a small fee for riding the bus for the service that is being provided? Or does the city, for tourism's sake, want to keep it as a free ride? But I know, like I say, in a lot of other cities that have been doing this with the light rail a long time, they're surviving, their light rail is working, and it's not free. Because free only means to the person using it. It wasn't put in for free, and those people that drive the buses and the trolleys don't work for free. So we have to know that that is tax money for the most part. It may be just those extra taxes on the sales tax for those businesses along the corridor. That's helping to pay for it. And if that's covering the cost entirely, that's good. That's the way to do it. But everybody then that shops up and down Main Street will help pay for it. And it works out good. Now, the same thing with the ATA. Should we have the businesses along all the bus lines and stuff be able to add a little bit of a tax if they vote for it, that supports keeping the buses going in their areas? I think they were cutting out Independence. Other places, I think north of the river where I live, not as much bus service, but they do have bus service up there out to the airport. We need to look at how do we afford to do the things that make this city great. And that's what we need to be working on. But that's another soapbox issue. So I've been in a couple of soapbox issues today, and that's just okay. You know, we'll get back to the technology in the future. But right now, that was what was on my mind. I do want to let you know, though, once again, that there's going to be a Super Teen pop-up. Let me pull that back up so I can read it correctly. Where'd it go? There it is. All right. Bring it down to eye level so we can look at it and I can see you. All right, here you go. Teen Spring Break Pop-Up. The Du Bois Learning Center is having a spring break pop-up for teens, for all you teenagers. So if you're 13 to 19, this is for you. It's a spring break pop-up. They're going to be featuring African-American history, creative writing, drones, robotics, and more. So bring your squad and kick it with us. Food, music, activities, inspiring guests, all of that's going to be happening March 18th through the 20th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center located at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard, Kansas City, Missouri, 64128. So they'd like for you to register, but if you don't register, you can come anyway. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be turning any youth away. If you want some more information, be sure and go to www.duboislc.org. That's www.duboislc.org. That's DUBOISLC.org. Go there and go there often and stuff because there's a lot of things that are going on. This is the groups that are involved in this are the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association of Kansas City, Urban Tech, Block, and VIP, the VIP Movement, LLC, Violence I Prevent. So all of that's going to be going on so you can get some wholesome fun and have a good time in the spring break and even continue to learn something right here at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. So we hope to see you here 11 o'clock tomorrow until 3. It's free. There will be music, there will be food, there will be activities, and there will be inspiring guests. All right, so thank you for tuning in. This has been Louis George Walker at the KUAW Radio Studios located in the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center at 4510 East Linwood, Kansas City. Glad that you were able to join with me today. I will be back with you next Monday from 5 to 5:45 for BFTAA and more. All right, take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.